Do you think your Bitcoin is untouchable? Think again. Around the world, crypto investors have seen their accounts suddenly locked, meaning they're unable to access their savings. Today, we're going to look at 7 ways your Bitcoin can be frozen overnight, and how to prevent it happening to you. My channel digs deep into the hidden truth and hard facts about crypto. Make sure you like and subscribe for videos you can't afford to miss. So without further ado, let's get right into the 7 traps that can freeze your Bitcoin. 7. A major exchange collapse. There's an old saying in crypto, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. And if your Bitcoin is held on an exchange, there's a greater risk you could lose it forever. In 2022, several major crypto exchanges suddenly went bust, including FTX, Celsius, and Voyager. Once trusted names turned into symbols of betrayal. In the blink of an eye, customers went from feeling safe to realizing they may never see their savings again. Now imagine it's not just one exchange. Picture a high-profile collapse, maybe triggered by fraud, risky leverage, or a massive hack that shakes trust across the entire industry. Traders rush to pull funds from other platforms just in case. The withdrawals pile up, and the domino effect begins. Here's the truth most people never hear. Exchanges don't keep everyone's coins ready to withdraw. They operate on fractional reserves, counting on the idea that not everyone will cash out at the same time. But in a panic, that model collapses. And when withdrawals outpace reserves, the first move exchanges make is to freeze accounts temporarily to stop the bleed. Sometimes temporarily means a few days, sometimes a few years, and sometimes these coins are lost forever. This isn't just a loss of funds, it's a loss of trust so deep that the whole system seizes up. 6. A coordinated regulatory strike. It's no secret that many governments around the world don't like Bitcoin, and if they think Bitcoin is an immediate threat to financial stability, they can coordinate and come down on crypto like a ton of bricks. Imagine a joint announcement from multiple countries, broadcast live on the news, effective immediately. Crypto exchanges are illegal. No warning, no grace period, just the flip of a switch. This is not a fantasy. In 2017, China shut down domestic crypto exchanges within weeks. India has repeatedly cut banking access to crypto firms overnight. And in countries like the UK, some banks have strict limits on how much Bitcoin you can buy. It can even affect your ability to get a mortgage. The chilling reality is this. Countries don't need to ban Bitcoin outright. They just make it harder for you to buy it in the first place, and even harder to cash it out. The blockchain will still run, but your coins will be like gold locked in a vault you can't open. The financial world is more interconnected now than ever before. And when the world's biggest economies, the G20, countries like the US, China, India, and Europe, decide on something, it can spread worldwide in a matter of hours. 5. A global financial panic. This is the one that central bankers have nightmares about. Picture a crisis that makes 2008 look small, but in the age of instant communication, stock markets plummet, banks teeter on the edge, credit markets freeze like ice. People look for somewhere, anywhere, to park their wealth. For many, that somewhere would be Bitcoin. But here's the catch. In a true panic, governments don't play nice. They dust off an old brutal tool, capital controls. We've seen this before. In 2013, banks in Cyprus locked their doors for a week. People in Greece were limited to taking out 60 euros a day from ATMs in 2015. And in India, 86% of cash notes became worthless overnight in 2016. None of these moves came with a warning, and Bitcoin wouldn't be spared. If officials believe it's draining liquidity from their economy, it would be one of the first things frozen. Not because they hate crypto, but because they want every dollar, euro, or yen trapped inside their borders until the storm passes. And here's the sinister part. When you combine financial panic with political pressure, the rules aren't just bent, they're rewritten. We're heading into the top 4 reasons Bitcoin can be frozen overnight. This video is for you. If you like what you've seen so far, hit like and subscribe. Number 4. Mining network disruption. Even if you store Bitcoin in your own wallet, you still rely on the network to move it from A to B. And that network has pressure points. Picture this. A coordinated cyber attack takes out major mining pools. Power grids are sabotaged in regions hosting key infrastructure. The hash rate plummets. Suddenly, transactions that normally take 10 minutes are delayed for hours. Fees skyrocket. Exchanges start delaying withdrawals until the network stabilizes. This isn't science fiction. In 2021, a blackout in Xinjiang, China, home to a massive share of Bitcoin's mining power, caused the hash rate to plunge by over 30% in a matter of hours. That was an accident. Imagine if it were deliberate. A hostile actor doesn't need to kill Bitcoin entirely. They just need to make it unreliable when you need it most. And in a crisis, delayed often means gone. Number 3, central bank digital currency rollout. Central bank digital currencies are coming. They're digital versions of euros, dollars, and pounds, designed to make transactions faster and boost financial inclusion. But critics warn, CBDCs are also programmable, trackable, and controllable. Now imagine a crisis. The government says Bitcoin is destabilizing the economy. It's unregulated, it's unsafe. Overnight, they freeze Bitcoin withdrawals and simultaneously launch their CBDC as the safe alternative. Once you're in that system, the rules aren't yours. They can expire your funds, block certain purchases, or limit how much you can spend in a day. What if you were stopped from buying alcohol or cigarettes after 1 a.m., or only allowed to book a certain number of flights per year? They're just 2 scenarios that Bitcoiners and privacy campaigners worry about. A coordinated Bitcoin freeze during a CBDC rollout wouldn't just be an inconvenience. It could be the single largest transfer of financial control in modern history. 2. Privacy and P2P crackdowns. We're already seeing the walls close in. Privacy coins like Monero delisted from major exchanges. Peer-to-peer platforms increasingly forced to comply with heavy regulations. Know your customer rules, stricter every year, even for small transactions. Here's why this matters. Once every legal route for moving Bitcoin passes through monitored channels, freezing becomes as easy as sending one order to those intermediaries. Think about it. If tomorrow every exchange cited compliance reviews and paused Bitcoin withdrawals, what percentage of holders could still convert their BTC to cash? The answer is frighteningly small, and it's shrinking by the day. Number 1, self-custody becoming illegal. It sounds extreme until you realize it's happened before. In 1933, Executive Order 6102 made it illegal for Americans to own gold. Citizens were forced to sell their holdings to the government at a fixed price or face prison. If self-custody of Bitcoin was outlawed under the banner of fighting terrorism financing or stopping money laundering, most people would be pushed onto compliant exchanges, which can be frozen instantly. Bitcoin would survive, but it would survive in black markets where there's much higher risk for investors and even less protection if things go wrong. History shows that when governments are desperate, they don't hesitate to criminalize the things we take for granted. How to protect yourself. Every single one of these 7 ways your Bitcoin could be frozen overnight has a precedent, either in crypto or traditional finance. You can start protecting yourself immediately by following 3 simple steps. Step 1. Take control. Self-custody isn't optional. It's an essential security measure. If you don't hold your private keys, you don't own your Bitcoin. Get a hardware wallet from a trusted brand like Ledger or Trezor. Back up your recovery phrase. Store it offline and in multiple secure locations. Treat it like your life savings, because it might be. Step 2. Stay adaptable. Learn peer-to-peer trading now while it's still legal. Build relationships with trusted traders. Familiarize yourself with decentralized exchanges. The goal is to have a network and skills in place so you can move Bitcoin without the risk of it being frozen. Step 3. Build multiple off-ramps. Don't rely on one exchange or one method of cashing out. Spread accounts across platforms and jurisdictions. Explore alternative conversion methods. Stablecoins, gift cards, even precious metals. Flexibility can mean survival if your Bitcoin is ever at risk. If you wait until a crackdown starts, it'll be too late. The people who act now will be the ones with options when everyone else is staring at a locked screen. All these traps can freeze your Bitcoin, but they're nothing compared to the biggest risk of all: losing the internet. In the next video, I'll show you exactly what happens if the world goes offline for 72 hours. Thanks for watching.